Alright, anime fans. Today we're diving headfirst into the insane world of anime, where the main characters don't just win fights, they rewrite the rules. Get ready for jaw-dropping power levels, questionable logic, and non-stop hype. Number 15, The Eminence in Shadow. Kicking off with number 15, we have The Eminence in Shadow. This anime is basically if Batman had delusions of grandeur, and instead of Gotham, he's playing Overlord in an Isekai. Sid Kaganu doesn't just want power. He wants to be the guy pulling strings behind the strings, the ultimate shadow ruler. And you know what? He nails it. What makes this hilarious is how often his edgy roleplay accidentally turns out to be real. He thinks he's spitting nonsense lines for dramatic effect, but it's actually the hidden truth of the world. Like, bro, how do you accidentally cosplay your way into omnipotence? The action's slick, the comedy is self-aware, and Sid's "I don't care, I just want to look cool" vibe is oddly relatable. But let's be real, if you take a shot every time he monologues about the shadows, you'll be hospitalized before episode 3. Still, for fans who like parody blended with overpowered dominance, this anime sets the tone perfectly. Number 14, Licorice Recoil. Sliding to number 14, we've got Licorice Recoil. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, this isn't technically a fantasy OP power anime. And you'd be right. But Chisato Nishikigi bends the rules harder than a shonen protagonist. This girl isn't just skilled, she's untouchable. Bullets literally curve around her like she's Neo from the Matrix having a girl's day out. She walks into a room full of heavily armed killers, giggles, and walks out without a scratch. Plot armor? Nah, this is plot titanium. But what makes Licorice Recoil shine is the blend of slice-of-life cafe antics with spy-level shootouts. 1 second, Chisato's making lattes and being adorable. The next second, she's John Wick with pigtails. And her chemistry with Takina? Golden. It's action comedy with heart, plus a subtle jab at government conspiracy. If you've ever wanted wholesome cafe vibes served with a side of my reflexes break physics, this show is your comfort meal. It's a different flavor of overpowered, but trust me, it belongs here. Number 13, My One-Hit Kill Sister. Landing on number 13, My One-Hit Kill Sister is exactly what it says on the tin. Imagine being isekai'd into a fantasy world where you're weak as paper, but your sister? She's basically a nuclear warhead in heels. Asahi, our unlucky protagonist, is the epitome of useless MCs. Dude can't fight his way out of a low-level goblin encounter. But his sister, Maya, steps in and annihilates enemies with one blow like she's farming XP for speedruns. Honestly, she's like Saitama if Saitama also embarrassed you in front of every NPC. The comedy writes itself. Asahi's constant humiliation paired with Maya's obsessive little brother protection squad energy makes the show equal parts funny and cringe. But hey, who doesn't love some family bonding, even if it involves watching your sister flex on literal demon lords? It's not deep, it's not serious, but it's chaotic fun. And sometimes overpowered anime doesn't need philosophy. It just needs a sister dropping nukes with a smile. Number 12, I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. Looking at number 12, the title I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too pretty much spoils itself. Yuya Tenju goes from bullied, overweight kid to glow up of the century. And I mean instant glow up. He stumbles into another world, unlocks broken skills, and suddenly becomes a genius, supermodel, martial arts prodigy, and probably top TikTok influencer if he tried. His classmates who used to bully him, now they're simping harder than anime fandoms during waifu wars. Here's the fun. The anime blends two realities, fantasy world monster slaying and modern world slice-of-life flexing. So you get scenes like Yuya casually one-punching monsters, then going home to ace exams and get scouted for modeling gigs. It's ridiculous, it's wish fulfillment, and it's oddly satisfying. But let's be honest, it feels like someone took an overpowered character creator in a video game and said, what if this was just life? Broken? Absolutely. Entertaining? Even more so. Number 11, Isekai Shokan wa Nidome Desu. Coming in at number 11, Isekai Shokan wa Nidome Desu, or Summoned to Another World for a Second Time, proves that once isn't enough for some heroes. Setsu, our MC, already saved the world once, got betrayed, went back to Earth, and then got summoned again. Talk about deja vu with trauma. This time, though, he's done playing nice. He's got all the experience, all the skills, and zero patience for nonsense. Watching him dismantle enemies who think they're hot stuff is pure catharsis. Like, bro, he's literally speed-running revenge arcs. The fun part is how casually OP Setsu is. Villains scream about ruling the world, and he's yawning while wiping the floor with them. Even the so-called allies can't keep up. It's basically watching a veteran gamer stomp noobs in a tutorial zone. It doesn't reinvent the Isekai wheel, but if you're here for power fantasies and the smug satisfaction of seeing arrogance crushed, this anime delivers. Twice summoned, twice as broken. Number 10. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Kicking off the top 10, the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world is what happens when spiritual warfare meets Isekai. Seika Kuroitsu, the so-called weak son in his family, is hiding the fact that he's basically a walking nuker of yokai and demons. What's fun here is his strategic optness. He doesn't just brute force his way through fights. He's using cunning spells, talismans, and old-school magic systems that make everyone else look like toddlers scribbling with crayons. Watching him casually summon monsters like he's ordering takeout is endlessly entertaining. Of course, his classmates and rivals underestimate him because anime loves to hand villains L's they didn't ask for. Seika plays it cool, acting like he's average, while secretly being the guy who ends wars before lunch. It's darker than some isekai, but the mix of spiritual vibes and raw flexing makes it stand out. If you love your OP characters with brains as sharp as their powers, this one's a gem. Number 9. Wise Man's Grandchild. Sliding into number 9, Wise Man's Grandchild is like if Harry Potter got adopted by Merlin, but instead of Hogwarts, he just maxed every skill tree instantly. Shin Wolford is reincarnated, raised by a legendary wizard, and yeah, he's broken beyond repair. Here's the kicker. Shin doesn't even realize how OP he is. Everyone else is struggling with spells, and Shin's casually inventing nukes that could level cities. The academy scenes are hilarious because he's basically dunking on the curriculum every episode. Imagine taking a math test and solving calculus with doodles. That's Shin. What keeps it fun is the balance of comedy, romance, and big flashy fights. Sure, the story can be predictable, but Shin's wholesome personality makes him easy to root for. He's not arrogant, he's just clueless about how god-tier he really is. And yes, the 2022 re-air gave fans another reason to dive back in and remember why OP characters are so addictive. It's pure, cheesy fun, and sometimes that's exactly what anime fans need. Number 8. My unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. Landing on number 8, we've got my unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. Talk about a misleading setup. You think Ryota, the MC, is going to be weak forever? Nah. The guy rolls into this world with loot drop powers that literally break the economy. At first, it's funny. A dude's stuck at level 1 while everyone else is flexing big stats. But then, bam! His unique skill lets him farm items so rare and busted, they put high-level adventurers out of business. He's basically a walking loot box. And unlike your favorite gacha game, his drop rates are 100%. The comedy hits when other adventurers underestimate him. Enemies think they've got the upper hand, but Ryota just casually whips out an arsenal of broken items. It's like watching someone win at Dark Souls using only starter gear, except the gear secretly has God mode mods. If you're tired of cookie-cutter OP protagonists, this anime offers a fun twist, staying level 1 but still being untouchable. Ryota proves you don't need numbers, just the right hacks. Number 7. Level 1 Dakido Unique Skill Desaikyo Desu. Looking at number 7, yeah, the title Level 1 Dakido Unique Skill Desaikyo Desu basically spoils itself. Another weak on paper, broken in reality story, but this one doubles down on the comedy of being underestimated. Our boy Ryota Sato, not to be confused with the million other isekai Ryotas, finds himself reincarnated with a trash-looking skill. But surprise, it's actually one of the most busted abilities ever created. Anime logic at its finest. Garbage on the surface, god tier in practice. What's fun is the grind. He's not smashing through armies instantly like some OPMCs. Instead, he's exploiting his unique skill like a pro gamer abusing a glitch. Watching him hustle and farm rare drops while enemies underestimate him is weirdly satisfying. And yes, the faces of shock when he casually wrecks opponents never gets old. It's not the most original setup, but the humor and underdog-turned-overlord energy keep it entertaining. Sometimes being weak on paper makes the flexes feel even stronger. Ryota's the guy proving patch notes can't nerf true OP energy. Number 6. Isekai wa Smartphone to Tomo ni, Season 2. Sliding into number 6, it's Isekai wa Smartphone to Tomo ni, Season 2. Ah yes, the anime everyone loves to roast but still watches because it's ridiculously overpowered wish fulfillment. Tuya Mochizuki dies, gets blessed by God, and wakes up in another world with, you guessed it, his smartphone. But here's the kicker. The phone isn't just for checking Instagram. It's basically a divine cheat code. Tuya uses it to look up magic, maps, and pretty much anything he wants. Combine that with every elemental power, insane combat skills, and the ability to casually charm entire harems? This man's living the dream. Season 2 doubles down on the insanity, expanding his powers and his kingdom-building shenanigans. Critics will say it's bland, and sure, sometimes it feels like overpowered chaos with no tension. But honestly, that's the fun. It's not trying to be deep, it's giving fans pure comfort food. It's goofy, it's over the top, and yes, the smartphone gimmick is absurd. But admit it, you've secretly wished your phone came with cheat codes too. Number 5. Kuma 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 Bear Punch. Cracking into number 5, Kuma 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 Bear Punch might look cute, but don't let the cuddly costume fool you. Yuna, our bear-suited heroine, is basically a one-woman army wrapped in plush. She gets trapped in an MMO-style world with a bear outfit that's ridiculously overpowered. We're talking shields that can tank anything, punches that can wreck bosses, and teleportation that makes fast travel look like snail mail. And she does all this while looking like a walking mascot. The comedy gold comes from everyone underestimating her. Imagine thinking, oh look, a cute little cosplayer, only for her to casually vaporize dragons. It's peak embarrassment for the villains and peak satisfaction for us. Plus, Yuna's snarky, chill attitude makes her even more lovable. She's not out here for glory, she's just vibing in her bear onesie while rewriting the food chain. It's adorable chaos with actual muscle behind it. And honestly, seeing a literal bear punch solve problems never gets old. Forget swords, bear suit supremacy forever. Number 4. Tensei Kizoku no Isekai Bukenroku. Marching into number 4, Tensei Kizoku no Isekai Bukenroku, or Chronicles of an Aristocrat Reborn in Another World, is another power trip with a classy twist. Kane von Silford, our protagonist, is reincarnated as a noble kid, but blessed with so many divine gifts, it's unfair. Seriously, the gods basically said, yeah, let's give him everything. Enhanced stats? Check. Crazy magic? Check. Combat mastery at toddler age? Double check. By the time he hits his teens, he's already outclassing veteran adventurers and earning titles like Pokemon badges. The fun here isn't just Kane's broken skill set, but his constant struggle to hide it. He's trying to act normal, but accidentally blowing up training grounds or outshining knights twice his age. The comedy lands hard when he's like, oops, did I overdo it again? Bro, you vaporized the boss fight in 5 seconds. Yes, you overdid it. It's not the most original isekai, but it's entertaining, lighthearted, and full of satisfying flex moments. Kane proves aristocrats don't need politics when they have divine hacks. Number 3. Saikyo Onmyoji no Isekai Tenseiki. Climbing into number 3, Saikyo Onmyoji no Isekai Tenseiki proves that reincarnation doesn't mean starting from scratch. It means respawning with hacks already unlocked. Haruyoshi, the strongest exorcist in his old life, dies betrayed but gets reborn in a fantasy world. And instead of crying about betrayal, he brings every ounce of his spiritual mastery with him. What sets him apart is the unique flavor of his power. While other fantasy characters are flinging fireballs, Haruyoshi's summoning yokai, controlling curses, and casually summoning beasts that look like they crawled out of Japanese horror folklore. Everyone else is playing with toy swords, and he's over here running an army of nightmares like a true boss. What I love is his cold, calculating side. He doesn't just flex for no reason. Every move is deliberate, strategic, and efficient. He's not just strong, he's terrifyingly intelligent. This isn't your average, oops, I'm OP anime. It's layered, dark, and reminds us that brains plus overwhelming power equals a hero who feels closer to an anti-hero. And honestly, that's what makes him memorable. Number 2, Isekai de Cheat Skill wo Tenni Shita Orewa. Sliding into number 2, we're back with Isekai de Cheat Skill wo Tenni Shita Orewa. also known as the anime where glow-ups are cranked to divine levels. Our boy Yuya starts as a bullied nobody, but one portal later, he's rocking god-tier skills, anime model good looks, and charisma that makes even his old bullies trip over themselves. The charm here is the double life. In the fantasy world, Yuya's casually wiping out monsters that make veteran adventurers shake. In the real world, he's suddenly top of his class, breaking athletic records and looking like he just walked out of a K-pop poster. It's like watching Cinderella, if Cinderella also casually annihilated dragons in her spare time. Yes, it's pure wish fulfillment. Yes, the story leans heavily into fan service for underdogs. But let's not lie. Sometimes anime fans want to see a guy go from rock bottom to you can't even see me on the power scale levels of dominance. Yuya embodies every revenge fantasy with a grin. Number 1. Vermeil in gold. Finally, landing at number 1, we crown Vermeil in gold. And trust me, this anime earns the top spot not just because of raw strength, but because of how gloriously chaotic it is. Alto Goldfield, a struggling magic student, accidentally summons Vermeil, a sultry, demon-esque powerhouse who's less of a familiar and more of a walking cheat code. From the moment she arrives, Vermeil casually breaks every duel, every challenge, and every fight scene, leaving enemies questioning their life choices. Dragons? Gone. Rival mages? Humiliated. Whole arenas? Flattened. But here's where it gets wild. Her power runs on Alto's mana, which she conveniently absorbs through, wait for it, kisses. Yup, her entire power-up system is essentially making out with the protagonist. Anime never change. What makes this number 1 is the perfect balance of comedy, tension, and spice. Vermeil doesn't just dominate battles, she dominates the screen. She's stylish, witty, terrifyingly powerful, and unashamedly chaotic. If you wanted your OP anime with a side of attitude and charm, this one's the crown jewel.